My name is Larry Horn. This is my 1955 500cc single Velocette, an MSS, and I'm going to hopefully walk you through the startup procedure on this bike. There are different Velocettes, take different procedures. This one has its own procedure. This bike, I must say, probably starts easier than the standard Velocette because it has electronic ignition and also a Japanese carburetor. So, and I'm not claiming that this is a high point Velocette because there's a lot of modifications to this bike, and I'm not saying that it is original. It's been modified, and to my liking. It's an individually what I liked, and so that's what I did. Now, saying that, getting rid of all the disclaimers, there's a procedure that this Velocette takes to start it up. One of the things that's important is the first thing I do is I turn the oil tap on. When I'm storing this bike for long periods of time, I turn this off like this, and because this bike has a tendency to wet sump, and that means that the oil in the oil tank over time, gravity feeds down and puts it into the crankcase. This is a dry sump bike, so it doesn't like oil in the crankcase, and so when that happens you have to drain the crankcase and put it back in the oil tank. But with this valve off, that doesn't happen. That's the plus. The negative side is you better remember to turn that valve on, because if you don't, 5 miles down the road you've rent your motorcycle. So what I do is when I take my key out of the ignition after I run it, I turn the valve off and I wrap my ignition key around the valve and I leave it there. So that tells my little pea brain that when I take the key off of this valve, I have to turn it on, and then I can put my key in the ignition. It's just a little reminder that makes me turn that valve on, because if that valve doesn't get turned on, I no longer have a nice little Velocette. Okay, saying that, we turn the gas on. This is the main. I have a reserve over here in case this runs out. I have a reserve tap over here, but I have gas in it, so I leave that on. This bike has a Japanese carburetor, so I have a enrichment circuit here, or a choke, that I can put on, but the bike is warm, so I don't need to do that. I bring it up onto compression like this. I pull the compression release, which is right here over on the left side, and I get it past compression and I turn that loose. And then I turn my key on and I kick it.